anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love fall. Because of that, I've made it a point to go out and experience the magic of autumn all over the world. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than cool autumn days to enjoy leaf peeping the colorful fall foliage. While there are so many incredible places around the world to visit for fall, I'd like to share with you a list of 5 of the most incredible places for fall that I've been lucky enough to visit so far, to hopefully inspire your own autumnal adventures. First up on my list is the scenic New England town of Stow, Vermont. While New England is world-renowned for its fall color, I think that Stowe makes for the perfect place to experience all that autumn has to offer in New England. In winter, people come to Stowe to hit the slopes, but those same slopes come alive in the fall with beautiful fall foliage for you to be able to enjoy. Don't forget to stop by Cold Hollow Cider Mill to try a New England fall staple as well, apple cider donuts. Stowe makes a great home base to explore the many quaint New England towns that surround it, whose old colonial homes are particularly picturesque in the fall. The fall color usually hits Stowe in early to mid-October, which is a bit earlier than other parts of New England thanks to its relatively high altitude. Like anywhere in New England in autumn, weekend crowds can be a bit of a nuisance, so it's best to visit during the week if you can. But the brilliant orange, reds, and yellows of the area's foliage will be well worth it no matter how many people you'd be admiring it with. Staying on the east coast of the United States, Boone, North Carolina takes the next place on my list. Boone is a small college town deep in the Appalachian Mountains and is perfectly situated along the iconic Blue Ridge Parkway. Boone is the perfect home base for any road trip along this iconic American parkway, which has incredible fall foliage all along its route in October. The most iconic portion of the highway is located at the Lynn Cove Viaduct, which is about a 30 to 40 minute drive from Boone. The viaduct seems to hover over a sea of fall foliage, which makes it one of the most photogenic stretches of road in the entire United States. Also along the Blue Ridge Parkway are numerous hiking trails to lakes and waterfalls to check out, and I particularly enjoyed stopping at the Old Hampton store in Linville for a taste of Carolina-style barbecue and Appalachian culture. Also just a few hours down the road from Boone is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which I think has some of the best fall foliage on the entire East Coast. I have a whole separate video on the perfect weekend road trip along the Blue Ridge Parkway, so if you'd like to know more, you can watch that video by clicking the tile on your screen. Number 3 on my list takes us out west to my home state of Colorado and the incredibly beautiful town of Telluride. Telluride is set in a gorgeous box canyon and is surrounded by expansive forests of aspen trees which blanket the hillsides in gold all around. One of the best ways to see the foliage from town is to take the free gondola which takes you to the top of the local ski area for incredible views. Surrounding Telluride, there are numerous scenic views along the San Juan Skyway which makes its way throughout all of southwest Colorado. Driving along the San Juan Skyway will give you incredible views, with particularly great stops along the Dallas Divide, Last Dollar Road, and around the Alta Ghost Town. The leaves usually hit peak foliage in Telluride around the first week of October. If you're starting your road trip from Denver, which I imagine most people would be sure to give yourself 6 to 8 hours to get to Telluride from the city. Perhaps longer, since there are going to be so many other great places for fall foliage along the way. Finally, leaving North America, number 2 on my list takes us to the southern hemisphere in the rugged wilderness of Patagonia. The small town of Chalten is one of the most scenic places that I have ever been, and while I imagine it to be incredible at any time of year, visiting in autumn was really spectacular. Chalten is known as the trekking capital of Argentina, and there are numerous incredible hikes for you to take. I highly recommend the hike to La Laguna Torre, which is an easier day hike that is largely in colorful forests of lenga trees. If you're visiting from the northern hemisphere, keep in mind that fall in the southern hemisphere actually takes place in April, since it's on the other side of the globe. The benefit of that is that you get to experience 2 falls in 1 year, both in April and in September and October. But the ultimate fall hike is to the Laguna de los Tres, which is a strenuous 12-mile round-trip hike. Stunning views of the iconic Fitzroy Mountain abound on this hike, and the valleys surrounding it, carpeted in Technicolor fall foliage, is probably the most stunning fall moment that I've ever experienced. The hike takes you high up to the incredible Laguna de los Tres, right at the base of the Fitzroy granite monolith. This was easily the most beautiful hike I have ever done, and if you find yourself traveling to Patagonia, I highly recommend doing it in the fall, which makes it even more beautiful. And last, but certainly not least, my favorite destination for fall in the world has to be Kyoto, Japan. I think that Kyoto offers the perfect mix of both stunning fall foliage as well as incredible history and culture to explore, which gives it a leg up over all of the other places on this list. The bright oranges, yellows, and crimson of the Japanese maple tree is really best appreciated in this renowned Japanese city. While I generally prefer to see fall color out in nature, the meticulously crafted gardens and temples of Japan really work to accentuate the fall foliage, especially in Kyoto. And the Japanese aesthetic really provides an incredible canvas on which to enjoy the leaves. My favorite places to see fall foliage in Kyoto were at the Nanzenji Temple and the Aikando Temple, both of which had beautiful expansive Japanese gardens and were set among incredible traditional Japanese temples. Foliage usually hits its peak in Kyoto in early November, which is a bit later than most places in the world, allowing you to extend your fall season by enjoying fall at home and then coming to Japan to enjoy it even more. And so that's my list of the best fall places around the world. I know that there are so many other incredible places for fall foliage around the world, but these are just some of the best that I've been able to visit so far. I'd love to hear any other suggestions that you might have for me in the comments. If you enjoyed this list, I'd be very grateful if you give this video a like, and be sure to subscribe to my channel as I often post new fall content every year, along with tons of other travel tips, lists, and ideas for my adventures around the world.